Hey guys, Leanne here on GradysMom. Welcome back to a new What's for Dinner video. I will say in the beginning of this video, some of these clips are out of order, but I know that doesn't really matter because you guys are just interested in seeing what I made. So this night I just cut up a few potatoes. I had some leftover sausage. I cut up some peppers and onions and made sort of like a breakfast skillet type thing. I did also add some sharp cheddar cheese, some seasonings, and served it with some fresh watermelon. I just cut up a like mini watermelon and we had that as a little side, and it was a really good simple dinner for that night. The next night we had some rice. I think this is just like a chicken rice pilaf, a bunch of different veggies on the grill in our grill pan. We've got different peppers, green beans, onion, and some locally made pork sausages. I forget the brand of these sausages or the maker of them, but that's what we had this time for dinner. Just a simple grilled dinner except for the rice. And then we actually had family over this next night, so I made a huge sheet tray of sausage nachos, and this was actually kind of like a little appetizer type of thing, but I thought I would throw it in here. But I used scoops, some Mexican blend like shredded cheddar, again that same kind of crumbled sausage. It's the Jimmy Dean brand sausage that I used earlier in the breakfast skillet. And then usually I'll kind of just see what I have on hand, but this night I did some chopped tomatoes, chopped jalapenos. I just drained the like juice from the jar of jalapenos so it wasn't too like moist and didn't make the nachos soggy, and a bunch of just chopped up like Roma tomatoes, and that's it. And I just popped it in the oven, and the cheese got all melty. I did actually add a little bit more cheese on top of the sausage and tomatoes and jalapenos, but the cheese got all melty and bubbly. The scoops are really good for nachos, just an FYI, because they get inside the little scoop part. The next clip here are some wings. I just thawed out wings I had frozen, a little bit of vegetable oil for a rub down, salt and pepper, and we grilled up some zucchini, some yellow squash, and tomatoes. And then on the wings, we did some Cattleman Gold barbecue sauce. And then I served the wings and the veggies with these little like twice baked potatoes. FYI, these are like a frozen twice baked potato. I do not remember the brand, unfortunately. And it's definitely a little shortcut, but they are really tasty. And that's what we had for dinner this night. Hey guys, I'm getting ready to start dinner. I had this, I picked it up pretty recently. I just forgot to include it in a grocery haul. It is shaved steak, so it's like lean, extra lean. It says beef pub style, lean shaved, extra lean shaved steak. So it's almost like Philly cheesesteak steak, like super thin. So I'm gonna pan fry it up, and I'm gonna sort of make like an Asian-y sauce, and then I'm gonna use up some things that I need to use up anyway. So I have like half a piece of zucchini I want to use up. I've got a lime that is getting towards the end of its life, so I want to zest some lime, some of the lime peel, and then obviously use some of the lime juice. I'm going to use an onion, and then I have these sugar snap peas. I'll probably use like most of these and sort of pan fry it, and then I'm going to serve it over ramen, like a ramen bowl with beef. But the sauce is going to kind of be the star of the show. So I pulled out some different things. I also might pull out some ginger. I have ginger as well, like a squeezed tube of ginger. I think I got it from Aldi. But when I'm trying to create like a certain vibe, in this case sort of an Asian vibe, I just go ahead and pull out some of the Asian things that pop into my mind. And I won't necessarily use all of these things. So I pulled out some sesame oil, which I'm going to use to actually saute the beef. I pulled out some low sodium soy sauce. I actually only have a little bit of this left. I pulled out a little bit of honey. I pulled out some toasted sesame seeds, some hot pepper flakes because I like the heat these bring, some of this Bangkok peanut sauce. We use this for dipping sauce, and it's really good in like Asian sauces to like thicken it a little bit, and it gives it like a nutty flavor. This I probably won't use, but I pulled it out just in case I decide to put a little dollop in. It's the chili garlic sauce. It does have some heat. I probably can't open it with one hand, but I really like this sauce. It just adds a nice like spice. But again, I don't know if I'm going to use this if I use these, because I don't want it too spicy. So I'm just going to kind of play around with these. I'm going to get the zucchini cut up, the onion cut up, the lime cut up and zested. These are already good to go. I'm just going to rinse them with some cold water. Get the beef sauteing up, get my ramen going, just regular good old ramen noodles, and we'll pull it together. So I started off by sauteing up the veggies in a little bit of that sesame oil to get that nice kind of sesame flavor infused into the veggies. I did pat my shaved beef dry because meat always browns and cooks up better when it's nice and dry. So as you can see, it's like paper thin, and it took no time to cook, which is why I started the veggies in advance until they were almost done, and then I went ahead and put the shaved beef in, and it literally only took just a couple minutes. I have a big pot of water boiling for my ramen. We just use the good old chicken flavor ramen, and then I took some bowls and put the ramen inside the bowls on the bottom part, and then I went ahead and topped it with the shaved beef, the veggies. It really came out good. You could really do this with shrimp, with chicken, with fish. There's a lot of different additional toppings you could add. I actually put a little bit of toasted sesame seeds on top, and I also added some sriracha sauce off camera, but you could add some chopped up peanuts. You could add some shredded carrot on top. There's really no limit to what you can do with these bowls, but this is just what we had on hand. And it was really tasty. My husband absolutely loved it and said to definitely go ahead and make it again. The next night we had some turkey burgers with a pickle. On the burgers, I put some pesto aioli, jalapenos, and some sharp cheddar cheese. There's the aioli right there. We also had some cut up cucumbers, cut up carrots, and some snow peas to dip in ranch. And we also had some good old Kraft mac and cheese spirals. So this next night we had some strawberries, I almost said, tomatoes and cucumbers. I just cut them up, some sea salt, some cracked black pepper, and then I drizzled some of this Trader Joe's balsamic glaze over the top. Absolutely love this stuff. If you are a fan of balsamic, I highly recommend picking this up. It is nice and thick, and it's also delicious on mozzarella if you do like mozzarella. And then with these little sides here, we had some of the seeds of change, Spanish style rice, quinoa peppers, and corn blend. And we also had some sweet and hot Italian sausages on the grill. So we each had one sweet, one hot, and FYI, whatever we don't eat, we just save it for the next day for a leftover. And that was what we had for dinner that night. This next clip is taco salad night. So I've got my beef cooked and drained all the fat out. I'm using the Taco Bell brand taco seasoning. So I just went ahead and added that to the cooked meat, added some water, of course, and then just let this cook down until all of the liquid was absorbed into the meat. In the meantime, I already had my lettuce and my veggies all prepped and ready to go. So I did a bed of romaine. And then on each plate, I added chopped tomatoes, olives, jalapenos, avocado. My husband is not a big avocado fan, so you'll see on his plate, I believe, if I showed a clip of it, that he had much less avocado than I did. So I just topped everything, and I had my meat cooking away on the stove. So I just like to have kind of things ready to intercept. This is Matt's plate. You can't really see it, but he barely has any avocado, and he has a lot more olives. I have a lot of avocado. He also likes a lot of cheese and sour cream on his. And I just like a little bit of cheese and some taco sauce. This next night, I just made these little Streusel cinnamon muffins. I don't know why I'm showing you guys these, but it just happened to be I had just made them. But anyways, I made hash brown casserole. I do have a whole cooking video on this, so I will try to remember to link it down below. If I forget, just remind me in the comments. It's also always in my cooking playlist. I steamed up some broccoli, and we grilled up some chicken breast with the tomato basil McCormick marinade. So we had the chicken, and I took 2 big breasts and cut them in half lengthwise so they were much thinner, with the hash brown casserole, super delicious, also really good for breakfast or like a potluck, and the broccoli. I thought I would just throw in some random lunch clips in this video. So I am making, I just made Matt's lunch. This is just like a Casserole with some turkey, Swiss cheese, and then it has some bacon aioli from Terrapin Ridge Farms. Let me grab the bottle and show you. It's the bacon aioli. We use pretty much all of their aiolis on a regular basis. And then I did make a batch of my loaded potato salad. I do have a whole video on this loaded potato salad. I'll link it down below, or it's also in my cooking playlist. So I've got the sandwich, some loaded potato salad, a pickle, and I'm gonna have probably just a little bit of this, and then we have some leftover pizza. This is like a deep dish style pizza. I don't know if I can show you, but it's like a supreme deep dish pizza. I'm just gonna throw this in the toaster oven and heat it up because I asked Matt if he wanted it, and he said he wanted something cold because it's pretty hot outside. But this is what we're having for lunch today, and just wanted to share. So I'm going to close out this week's dinner video with just some quick clips of the Food Truck Thursdays little event we've gone to a few times. It's at this old shirt factory, and there are a lot of vendors. This is just a tiny sampling of when we were walking around a little bit. I just don't love filming in public. We do go when it's early, so it's not crowded. It actually just starts to get crowded when we leave. This is another side of the building. It's around the entire building. So this is just a little sampling of what it looked like. Everybody had to keep like social distancing, 6 feet apart, wearing masks, but this is my husband's favorite, the Mac Factor. He gets the creamy 4-cheese mac and cheese with pulled pork and panko breadcrumbs. He absolutely loves it. He gets this almost every time with a craft beer. And then I usually go for either the Indian food or the Caribbean Jamaican food or soul food. So this time I got curry chicken with a bunch of sides and rice. It was to die for. Thank you so much for watching my What's for Dinner video. I really appreciate it. Your views help me out so much and help me to know to keep on filming them. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.